Many years ago, I was invited to talk before a multi-level network convention of one of these nice health product. While waiting for my turn to talk, I was seated beside the daughter of the owner. Yung bata nakakatuwa because she was very vibrant. And nalaman ko that she graduated 5 months before that day. So I asked her, Iha, ano mga plano mo? And then she started to list down all the things she wants to accomplish. Travel dito, travel doon, achieve this, achieve non. And then meron siyang sinabi na isang bagay that struck me. Tito, gusto ko ma-achieve lahat ito by the age of 30. When she was finished, sabi ko sa kanya, Iha, napagod naman ako sa'yo. Kasi ang dami mong gustong gawin in such a very short time. And bakit ba importante sa inyo, sa mga millennials during the time, na you achieve so many things by the age of 30? And of course, she mentioned the name of Mark Zuckerberg, who became a billionaire when he was 30 years old. Tinanong ko rin siya, Iha, ilan bang kilala mo na naging milyonaryo o bilyonaryo by the age of 30? At the end of our conversation, sabi ko sa kanya, why do you want to accomplish so much in such a short time? Why don't you just enjoy life as a journey? Alam mo, people today believe that they will find their significance in the things that they will accomplish by the age of 30. They believe that the faster they can achieve their goals, the happier they will be. They dream big dreams and try to achieve them in the shortest possible time, hoping that when they achieve them, mabubuo ang pagkatao nila. Ikaw, ano pangarap mo? While there's nothing wrong in having big dreams, I tell people to be careful kasi marami na akong kilalang binangungot when things did not turn out the way they wanted. Some of these people end up depressed when they fail to achieve their aspirations at the timetable they set for themselves. Para na lang itong isang millennial who asked me to coach and counsel him. One day sabi niya sa akin, Tito, when you were 36, what were you then? So sabi ko sa kanya, when I was 36, it was the time that I moved my family from Manila to Bukidnon. Before that, in HP, I was assistant country manager of one of their division. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, alam mo Tito, my father when he was 36, he was vice president of one of these big international banks. And then he asked me, Tito, what happened to me? 36 na ako, wala pa rin direksyon buhay ko and feeling ko wala pa rin akong na-achieve. Sabi niya, anong nangyari? Sabi ko sa kanya, because kayo mga millennial, nagmamadali kayo. You have from one job to another or abandon one business for another kung feeling mo hindi mo na-achieve yung gusto mo kung nasan ka. Sabi ko sa kanya, during our time, we had very little choices. So we had to stay put. But because we stayed put, we were able to grow in our career, advance consistently. Siguro sa simula, mabagal. Pero later, bumibilis din yon. And that's the reason why I was assistant country manager when I was 36. Bakit maraming ganitong kwento? Tao mga frustrated because yung dream nila hindi nila na-achieve sa panahon na gusto nila. And many of the millennials, they have reached 40 na feeling nila wala pa rin nangyayari sa kanila. Ang feeling ko one of the things that contributed to this concern is a book by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of his principles says, begin with the end in mind. While the principle on its own is good, feeling ko hindi siya kompleto. Kasi dapat as you begin with the end in mind, you must never forget where you are and what you have. Because knowing where you are coming from and the resources that you have already will tell you the journey that you have to make. You must then take time to prepare. Katulad na lang if you want to go from Manila to Bukidnon, what should you consider? Enough ba na malaman mo magkano ang presyo ng eroplano? Di ba dapat alamin mo rin kung saan ka manggagaling and kung magkano ang pera mo? Kung kulang pera mo, edi magbarko ka o bus. Pag kulang pa din, dapat siguro i-delay mo muna ang pagpunta sa Manila, magtrabaho ka muna para makapag-ipon at makapaghanda. It is not enough to begin with the end in mind. It is equally important to us saan ka manggagaling. Kaso lang what most people do is uutang sila para mapabilis ang pagpunta nila sa Manila kasi sayang daw ang panahon. Kaya pagdating nila sa Manila, magsa-struggle muna sila bago sila kumita kasi malaki yung interest na dapat nilang bayaran. I believe that beginning with the end in mind is also the foundation of strategic planning and feasibility studies. Alam mo, I often tell my friends today that I find strategic planning and feasibility studies useless. Huwag sana kayo magagalit if you use them. Hindi sila completely useless. Kaso lang feeling ko, ang value nila is overrated. Now, why will I say this? Kasi in order to meet the end that they want to produce, they must make many assumptions about what will happen in the future. In making strategic plans, we are told to make big and hairy, audacious goals. Yung bang kikilabutan ka pag iniisip mo? Ang tawag pa dito, stretch goals. To reach the stretch goals, they have to make out of this world assumptions about the future. Pero think about this, friends. Who could have predicted the COVID pandemic that devastated the world in 2020 to 2022? From experience, I estimate that only 20% or less of the assumptions we make in our business plan happen. So if this is true, how did companies achieve their strategic goals? As I studied and analyzed how companies grow and how we grew in HP despite of the fact that 20% lang assumption namin nangyari, I realized great companies adjust very well to the changing world. I explained this idea of adjusting in lesson 21 entitled Adjust because opportunities will not adjust to you. Do you know that the great men in the past did not start their journey by beginning with the end in mind? Kasi God did not tell them where they were going. Instead, the Bible tells us that these men, they walked with God or journeyed with Him. They would go where God tells them to go. They would do what God tells them to do. Many people today feel lost because they start their journey by setting amazing destinations and then they will do whatever is necessary to get there as soon as possible. Hindi importante sa kanila kung nasaan sila at kung anong meron sila. Kasi pwede naman daw utangin lahat ng kailangan nila. Let me explain how dangerous this approach is. Supposing one day you decide to go to the peak of Mount Everest, pwede mo bang sabihin sa sarili mo, bukas, pupunta ako doon. Di ba dapat you should first train before you go to Mount Everest? I realized this as I watched many testimonies in YouTube of people who took the journey. Alam mo, if you go to Mount Everest, you should ask, can I afford the training? Kasi many of them will train 2 to 3 years before they go to Mount Everest. And then dapat mo rin tanungin, can you afford the trip to Nepal? The necessary provision for you to reach the peak? Alam mo ba that when God called Abraham to leave his country, God did not tell him where he was bringing him. Si Abraham, when he heard the Lord say, leave your family, he packed his things. Para hindi siya malungkot, he invited his nephew to join him. And then they left towards a direction God gave them. When they arrived in Canaan, God told them to stay, so they stayed. But a great famine came, so God told them to take refuge in Egypt. So they went. When the famine was over, God told them to go back to Canaan and then settle there again. After many years of walking with the Lord, Abraham became the richest man in the place. Grabe, no? Did Abraham know that he would become the richest man in Canaan? I don't think so. Kasi nung nagsimula siya, konti lang naman ari-arian niya. However, by living life as a journey, yumaman siya eventually. He learned from his mistakes, made friends with the locals, understood how to do business, was able to hire many people to be able to grow his enterprise. Ito rin ang nangyari sa buhay ng the greatest leader in Israel's history, si David. David was the youngest of 8 brothers. Because he was the youngest, ang tawag sa kanya sa bahay nila, tigas. Anong tigas? tigagawa nito, tigagawa noon. Utusan siya ng 7 niyang kuya. Friends, do you know that on the day the Lord told Samuel to go to the house of Jesse to anoint the next king, nakalimutan ni Jesse si David na anak niya. Kasi as the 7 brothers came in, sabi ni Samuel, alam mo wala dito yung gusto ni God ah. Si David then was in the field taking care of the sheep of his father. Nakalimutan siya. So he was not an important person in their family. He was a shepherd because he had no choice. Totoo ba to that si David had no choice? No, he had a choice. Kasi kung ayaw niya maging shepherd para sa tatay niya, he could have run away to find the life that he wanted for himself. However, si David approached life as a journey. Ang paniwala niya, when he was young, he was meant to be a shepherd, mag-alaga ng sheep ng tatay niya. But as a shepherd, because he wanted to do his best, he learned how to kill lions and bears with a sling and a stone. Sineryoso niya yun. Yun ang pinapagawa sa kanya during the time, so ginalingan niya. Alam niyo ba sa araw na napatay niya si Goliath, wala siyang planong pumatay ng giant. Napag-utusan lang siya ng tatay niya na magdala ng pagkain sa mga kuya niya. Para bang nautusan lang bumili ng suka. And along the way, hindi niya sinasadya, nakapatay siya ng giant. But friends, ang tanong, paano niya napatay yung giant na kinakatakutan ng lahat ng sundalo ng Israel? When he came to the camp of the Israel and Goliath came out, I really believe he did not see a giant. He saw a bear that would not run and move, na stationary lang. He was able to kill Goliath with a sling and a stone kasi sanay siyang pumatay ng bear na mabilis and tumatakbo. That day, no one could have killed Goliath except a shepherd who knew how to use a sling and a stone. On that day, David was able to use what he learned from his journey as a shepherd. However, despite his success, God allowed David to endure many harmful experiences. For 10 years, he had to run away from Saul because Saul wanted him killed kasi niinggit si Saul kay David. David was very, very popular. So para hindi lang sila mag-away, si David ran away. While he was roaming the deserts of Israel, nadagdagan pa problema ni David. Kasi sabi ng Bible, 400 worthless men came to take refuge with him. Ano ibig sabihin ng worthless men? May utang, may nagawang krimen, walang matirhan, mga taong walang silbi. When they came, David had to feed all these people. Alam mo, an ordinary man would have given up. But si David persevered, always wanting to please the Lord. I have learned that the journey is more important than the destination. Why? Because the journey will teach you the skills and develop the character you need to appreciate where God wants to bring you. In the journey, you will learn to endure the rain and the heat. You will learn to adjust to the terrain. You get to develop patience and humility also. Alam ba nyo that the 400 worthless men that came to David in the desert eventually became the foundation of his personal army? When he was young, God taught him to take care of sheep. When he was older in the desert, God taught him to shepherd men and raise great soldiers. Alam mo, today I have stopped dreaming big dreams. When people ask me kung ano ang panaginip ko for my life, my family, my farm, sabi ko wala. Kasi yung dream ko nung bata ako, hindi natupad. The life I live today is much, much bigger and better than what I ever imagined when I was young. I stopped dreaming big kasi alam ko mas maganda ang plano ni God sa akin. And today, ang ginagawa ko, I enjoy my journey with the Lord. I have a persistent desire to be faithful to the Lord as I walk with Him every day. I want to do my best to take care of the things God has entrusted to me kasi alam ko, if I do well today, my tomorrow will be okay. What do I mean? Many years ago, I got the chance to share my testimony in the Wealth Summit of Brother Bo Sanchez. After sharing my testimony, one of his leaders asked me, sabi niya, I like what you've done in your farm. I like the principles you use. Sabi niya, where do you see yourself 3 to 5 years from now? Alam mo, when I heard that question, napangiti ako inside. Kasi it's a question that I have not heard for a long time. Kasi yun ang tanong sa amin noon sa HP. Where do you see yourself 3 to 5 years from now? Sabi ko doon sa nagtanong, Sir, I hope you will not be offended by my answer. Kasi ever since I decided to walk with the Lord, I have stopped dreaming about 3 to 5 years from now. And ang approach ko sa negosyo is that I want to do my best every day. So ang goal ko in my business is in whatever I have, gusto ko lang siya ayusin, gusto ko siya pagandahin, gusto ko siya palakihin. Kasi ito alam ko, if I do well today, my tomorrow will be okay. And from my experience, it has always been beyond okay. Because if I approach life as a journey with the Lord, He will bring me to the heights He wants for me, not the heights I want for myself. I have learned that focusing on the journey is more important than the destination. Kasi friends, if you do well where you are today, your future will be more than okay. Sana na-encourage kita with this lesson. Sana as I share this lesson with you, na-imagine mo kung anong dapat mong gawin sa buhay mo. I hope you will share this with friends and family who you want to encourage also. Tulungan natin sila. Not only to get out of depression, but also to create a life that will be good for them, for their family, and for their future family. Salamat sa pagpanood, and may God bless you. I would like to answer the question why I do what I do. Some people have told me that they like the lessons that I teach. However, in the same way, merong mga na-offend because of my very frank and direct ways. Why do I do what I do? Alam mo ako, I believe I have found a better way of doing business and living life. And ang gusto ko sana is to be able to share this to as many Filipinos as possible kung papayag lang sila. My business principles were formed when I started to read the Bible as a business book. Alam nyo, when I became a farmer coming from Manila, akala ko magaling na ako na negosyante. And yet, my first 4 years were terribly bad because parati ako walang pera. And in my desperation, I started to read the Bible and I realized it is a business book. Noong ginamit ko siya as a business book, alam mo, our business had a turnaround and we were able to grow the business despite the meager resources that we started with and the many difficulties that we had to overcome. My business principles are quite different from most of the things you hear from so-called experts. Yet naniniwala ako these principles are simple, practical, and effective. When we started to reap good harvest from the principles that we use in our farm and business, one day I asked God, Lord, bakit mo to itinuro sa akin? Bakit hindi sa ibang tao? Alam nyo, I felt that morning God answered me and said, Dong, that is not for you to keep, that is for you to share. And because of this, it has been my burning desire to share all the principles I know to people who are willing to listen. Kasi naisip ko, ano naman ang mangyayari pag itago ko to para sa sarili ko? Di ba mabubulok lang siya? And I really believe God blessed me so that I can bless people like you. Ang gusto ko sana is before I die, I can document all the things I know so that people will continue to benefit from them. I do not do what I do for the money. In fact, I have said no to many offers of advertisement to my Facebook account and page. I am not saying I will not accept any advertisement in the future. Hindi pa lang ako nakita ng grupo who shares my values. I am not here to become popular. In fact, people would say ang hirap naman i-share ng videos mo because mapapaaway daw sila and they're very controversial. However, the reason I share what I share, naniniwala ako, hindi natin babaguhin ang isang bagay na feeling natin hindi problema. So I often talk about the problem and I'm very direct. May mga nagagalit sa akin, they insult me, minumura pa nila ako sa comment. So simple ang response ko. I block them and delete their comments. Kasi may nagsabi sa akin noon Dong, ang magagalit sa post mo, hindi para sa'yo. Maski anong gawin mo, hindi mo sila mababago. So, dinilit ko sila. And however, I am very nice to those who ask me questions, even if feeling ko off yung tanong or yung comment, because I believe God has blessed me so that I can bless others. So ulitin ko, I'm not doing what I do for the money, nor am I doing it to become popular. Gusto ko lang ho ma-share ang alam ko so that I can help all Filipinos become fruitful kung papayag sila. So today I am on a journey of wanting to put everything I know in video form or book form so that even the next generation will be blessed by the principles. So maraming salamat for listening to this video. May God bless you.